of
Huh.
being a producer?
Definitely make sure you're getting good sleep, proper sleep. Because you could really have some really long nights in the studio because you're cooking some stuff up and you don't want to stop, and because you're making something insane. So definitely a lot of long nights and late starts to the day or early starts to the day, and late nights, whatever. Um, Definitely make sure you're not just in the studio all day for too long. Like try to have balance. Like go out, let's say go out into nature, go get inspired, go get some exercise, and live like a normal person. Do normal people
Mhm.
things too. You know what I'm saying? And then to me, it'll help your craft when you get into the studio and you want to start producing and making music, even just in general, in any kind of way. A lot of caffeine, a lot of coffee, because I don't know what it is. Like coffee and making beats is like an insane combo. Like I can't like what was it a few months ago? I went through this like little phase where I wasn't even really making songs that much. I just felt drawn to cook up a lot of beats. I cooked up
Mhm.
like 20 guitar beats, like crazy guitar beats in a week, and just brewed mad coffee. And I was up till like 2 a.m. like every night, just like 2, 3 cups of coffee, cooking out beats like one after another, one after another. So that was pretty fucking cool. Coffee definitely just helps get the juices flowing, the creative mind going, just inspires you. Um, be around more people, listen to new things, be open to hearing new things, so you don't get stuck in a box and then feel like you have beat block or whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question. Overall, I would just say make sure you're taking care of yourself. You're getting proper rest. Have balance with the shit, and when you're producing, when you're doing your thing, just stick to it. Don't get distracted. Don't get discouraged if it's not coming to you right away. You know,
For
sometimes you
sure.
just got to sit down with it.
All right. So I noticed that you said, what's that called? It's like writer's block, but what's that called for producers? Is it like,
I guess beat block.
have you ever had that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, how? So do you just get stuck on a certain part
It's
of a beat?
it's not even that you get stuck. It just like it just starts feeling unfulfilling. It's like it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing to you. You're not feeling. It's not like a cooperative thing. It almost feels like you're forcing certain things or sounds where you end up making the same beat that you made 20 times before because
Hmm.
you just can't think of anything else. Something else is really coming to your mind like that, and then it kind of feels stale. It's kind of like a watered down experience of like actually experiencing that like creative passion and bliss and love for what you're doing, and it really inspiring the fuck out of you and like giving you the chills running through your veins. Like, yo, this sounds insane. So it's kind of like that. Writer's block, I would say, is a bit harder because it's like actual words and things that you got to write down if you're writing
Hmm.
or if you're doing it out loud. So it's like beat block, you can kind of get away with it more. I wouldn't even call it beat block. It's kind of just like maybe feeling a bit slowed down and uninspired, unenergized kind of thing. Because I could have beat block, but I could still make a beat. It just might not be that good,
Uh-huh.
because of how I was feeling.
So would you say it depends more on of how the producer is feeling that day, or?
Yeah, it could be a lot of different things. It could be how you're feeling that day. It could be you're just tired and your brain isn't really working like that and you just need some rest. It could be because you've been overdoing it or like not overdoing it, but now you've reached your threshold and you're burnt out because you just picked up like 30 beats that week and you
Mhm.
still want to keep trying to bang it out, but nothing's coming to you and you're trying to force it. That's like, okay, that's fine. Take a break. Go live some life. Go do other things. You know what I'm saying? So it can be a lot of different things.
For sure. All right.
Yeah.
That's a great definition of that. So
Appreciate
I'm
it.
sure you'll help some people out with
Hell yeah.
getting that writer's block or beat
And it
block.
happens. It's natural. Like sometimes we can get a little like we can beat ourselves up and think like, damn, I don't really got it. Like no, like it's part of the process. You have good days, you have bad days. You have days where you can crank out so many beats and produce so many tracks, record so many things, and you have days where you get like maybe one or two, and or you don't get shit. And so it's just part of the process.
For sure.
Yeah,
And I have a question about like making a beat. So when
sure.
you make a beat, is it like a series or a combination of, I guess, things you put together, or like what goes into actual making like an actual beat?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty much it's a good way to describe it. It's definitely like because you start with one thing. Let's say you start with your melody, your first
Hmm.
melody, which is like the lead melody. And then after that, you're like, all right, now let me add the bass notes to it, the deeper notes to give it more body. And then you're like, all right, now let me add like some ambient one shots and like atmospheric things that just kind of come in here and there. So it's kind of it's definitely like it all comes together. It's almost like I don't know, baking a cake or making a cake, or
That's a good
like you buy,
analogy, actually. Yeah,
huh? Yeah.
that's a
Or like you buy a desk or something and you have to build it and you have all these like little different parts and stuff. So it's kind of like that. It's just you start layering a bunch of sounds and things on top of each other and then you have a beat, literally.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. One more question on that topic. Like,
Okay.
here's a question. It's not going to go on the board or anything because we're still on this topic. But
Okay.
have you ever been like, say you're in a studio, right, and then you have an artist in there with you, and you just randomly make this beat, and he starts nodding his head hard and going off to it? Have you ever had a situation like that?
Uh, I think so. Yeah, I've had situations like that, or let's say we were making beats and then like we
Mhm.
take a break or whatever, or I might just pull up one that I've had and one that I didn't even think much of, and I play it, and then like they just start fucking with it heavy. They're like, "Yo, like load that one up or whatever." Just like, "Yo, like I fuck with this and send me this," and so definitely it happened like very unexpected. A lot of shit happens in unexpected ways like that in music. I feel like so the things that you might not think were gonna hit end up hitting. The things that you were holding on to so tightly and that you wanted to put out like didn't hit. You know what I'm saying? So but I've definitely had experiences with artists in the studio where I'm making a beat and they're just in the zone. I'm looking at them and I can just see them. They're on their notepad, they're writing, and they're just like this. I'm like, okay, I know I'm doing my job right now. We got a chemistry going.
Yeah,
It's going well. I'm not like fuck. They're not looking at me like, yo, this kid's ass. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful. Just gotta have a good ear, you know.
for sure.
Yeah.
So when you're working with these artists, like, have you ever had anyone that doesn't write anything down and they just go straight into like full freestyle mode on it, or
Oh yeah, hundred
you've had
percent.
something like that?
I'm one of those. I do that too. Well, it's more so now though because it just I don't know it's more fun and like what I'll do is I'll actually put my voice memos on my phone and I'll just leave it in the corner of the room somewhere and I'll
Hmm.
just start rapping, freestyling, singing out loud as like let's say one of my boys who produces making the beats. Like there's plenty of times where he's sitting there making the beat and I'm just literally rapping, freestyling the entire time. Writing to some stuff as I go too. Like I've written down hooks as my voice making the beat, or I've wrote down a verse as my voice making the beat, and then after he exports the beat and everything, get the MP3 file, we load it up, and I'll lay down, record it, and then like we'll keep going. So definitely, yeah,
For sure. I heard stories of that. I just never heard it from like someone I actually talked to. Like, I'll
yeah.
hear it if I'm watching something on YouTube or something, and I'm like, I wonder if that's really, if it's what that vibe is really like. Like, I was
It
always
depends. It
curious.
depends on the energy in the room and how good the person is, I guess. So it's like because a person could start rapping and freestyling, but it's ass, or a person could start rapping and freestyling as somebody's producing, and suddenly that becomes the main attention. And it's like, yo, just don't even fuck with the beat anymore. Just keep it rolling, and we're gonna film him freestyling because he's going crazy right now. Kind of like the Juice World shit that happens all the time, like
Yeah,
in the studio. So it's definitely interesting. It's a lot of fun, actually.
for sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure that happens a lot with Little Wayne as well. I'm
yeah,
pretty
definitely.
sure.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to know that because I was just curious. I was like, I wonder how that
yeah, hell
is.
yeah,
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure. All right. Now the type of question that I'm going to ask you is more so like on like improving like as an artist,
Okay.
and I'm just going to put the question artist and producer.